the way he asked us to by organizing, uniting around the principle that Krishna Katha and the holy name are the medicine, the Bhava Ashauti, as the Srimad Bhagavatam says in the 10th canto, 3rd verse of the first chapter. The Bhava Ashauti, it's the medicine by which the material disease, symptoms of which are anxiety and fear, are cured. And it's the only cure because there is no cure on the material platform, only a transcendental cure. And the Srimad Bhagavatam, Tadvag Visargo Janataga Viplavo, Yasmin Pratishlokam Abhadyapi, is abundantly enriched with the holy names of the Lord. And what's more, it's from the transcendental world. And just to reorient ourselves to our mission, we've come together today because in Vaishnava Sangha, we can remember the purpose of life, how short of a lifespan we have as human beings, but how consequential it is. And also remember that anyone who comes in contact with the holy names and Krishna literature is eternally benefited. And that society, as Prabhupada said, is on a suicide course. The only way that we can turn it around is by profusely distributing the Sankirtan movement through the holy names and transcendental literature. And just as a stimulus and the way we're thinking about this, I'm going to read a couple of quotes from Prabhupada, who said, all of us should see that our literatures are profusely distributed. That means that our missionary work is going on nicely. Otherwise, we are simply sleeping and eating. The literature we have is already designated as Brihat Madanga. So distribution of literature means great Sankirtan. Prabhupada used words like profuse, very meaningfully. He was not one for benign distribution or lackluster, but he wanted always some alacritous endeavor going towards a goal that would enliven devotees all over the world. I find that it's so important to remember our mission again and again. It's easy to drift away and forget it. And so I'll read one more that gives us a sense for Prabhupada's mood. This is circa 1972. Prabhupada said, the more we sell books, the more we advance in Krishna consciousness. The more we sell books, the more we advance in Krishna consciousness. And the more we help others to have a solid information how they may take advantage of the human form of life. And we can remember in this regard that humans are very smart, huge brains, way bigger than primates, what to speak of cats, dogs. Human beings figure things out all the time. But the one thing they're lacking is transcendental knowledge. And all of the so-called great thinkers in society, the scientists who come from revered institutions, have very little philosophy, and they simply accept a priori the idea that we've evolved from matter, which is a false foundation. And because of that, all the other conclusions and creations that people make through science are short-lived as far as their ability to help anyone improve their lives. We're holding in our hand the greatest of all literatures. So it's our duty to bring them out into the daylight. Let the living entity see it. Let them make their own choice. We shouldn't choose for them that they may take or may not take. We should just accept the fact that the acharyas want us to present this. And based on their desire and our desire to fulfill their desire, just go out fearlessly or go in fearlessly, wherever you may be, and present Srimad Bhagavatam on its own merit, and just let the living entities decide. It's a universal democracy. Every living entity gets to decide for him or herself. And it's also a miracle we can consider that we have literatures available. We may note, and sometimes in history, we didn't have literatures in ISKCON, but now they're profuse. This is the era during which we have the major languages covered, and they're in print, available through paper form and also electronic form. So no need to hesitate. We can take up the mood of the Panchatattva, which was to distribute with abandon. They didn't consider who was a fit or unfit candidate, and they simply tried to expand the flood of love of God to people all over the world. This is the seemingly bombastic language of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that the people who were invalid, blind, whatever condition they're in, they should get it and be able to take advantage of it. One time when I was distributing books with my friend Divyanga Prabhu in St. Louis, Missouri, and we were running from place to place to distribute books to people, and a man came along in a wheelchair, and he was without the facility of his hands or his legs, but he could see from his eyes, and he was indicating how he really wanted the book. There was no place to put it, so he reached out and grabbed it in his mouth. And that normally that sounds, in our context, very offensive. But the fact was, he was so eager, he grabbed the book in his mouth and he rode off on his wheelchair, electric wheelchair, with the book in his mouth. And we were thinking how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't consider various circumstances. He just wanted to make sure if somebody was invalid, blind, seemingly in a disadvantaged situation, whatever condition one is in, giving them the opportunity to take to Krishna consciousness. So that's why we're here today. We'll be hearing from His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj in a few minutes. And we also have a list of devotees from various areas who can give us updates about what's going on. I'll emphasize now at the beginning, one of the main points I'd like to make, and our observation about how the campaign is going worldwide and what makes it go. I think that's the most important point. How do we distribute books? We're remembering very intensely His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and his first endeavors to distribute books included setting up a bookstore with a professional display. And for 1 month, he ran that campaign, and he came back to Prabhupada and said it didn't go very well. And Prabhupada had asked about the circumstances, and he heard about the professional display and the money they had spent on advertising. And then Prabhupada said, that is because my books are sold by the enthusiasm of my devotees. That's the ingredient. It's enthusiasm. If we just feel that Bhagavatam is the most sublime of all Krishna's incarnations, and it is an avatar, Krishna Swadamo Bhagate Dharma Ganadi Bisaha, Kalo Nashta Drishamesha Puranarko Donodita. It's appeared to take up what Krishna started, which was to show himself to the world so people could become liberated from material nature and become genuine lovers of God. It's all there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's Krishna's incarnation. And if we have that feeling in our heart that this is the best of all things, what do you do after that? You have to share it with other people. And we have to do it courageously, and don't worry about what to say exactly or how to present it, because Krishna, as Prabhupada said, will inform us from within the heart if we just enthusiastically try to present. He told us in 1975 in Vrindavan that if the book distributors are sincere and they just try, He pointed to his heart and he said, then the master within their heart will inform them how to do it. And the second principle, besides enthusiasm, I want to emphasize today is this phrase. And I'm afraid now to say, get a tattoo of this because I said it and then somebody did it. I just found out, which is assume it can be done. I love this because as I keep it running through my head, I notice the negativity of my own mind. Oh, that can't be done. Here's my list of excuses. It's a AI generated from my own mind, a list of excuses that comes up, combinations and permutations of excuses why I can't do something. And therefore, we have to be fortified with this mantra based on the fact that we're not the doers, we're the instruments. And if we accept the fact that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of God and he has unlimited compassion for the fallen souls, and he wants to use us as instruments, and we just say, my Lord, just use me as an instrument. Then we have the right to say and to assume that it can be done because it's Lord Chaitanya, not us, that's doing it. And I find this to be the key to our universal success as a team, as we all work together. When we discuss with one another, when we come into our smaller groups and we talk to our leaders and say, here's what we'd like to do, it should be prefaced by this idea that we assume it can be done. And then we turn off the AI that's generating all of the excuses and saying, here's why it can't be done. We don't have enough people. We don't have any books printed yet. All those things can be overcome if you just assume it can be done. Anything can be done in Lord Chaitanya's service. The words of the Shastra, Mukham Karoti Vachalam, Pangum Langai Tegirim. If you're blind, if you're lame, how can you cross a mountain? By the Lord's mercy. That's the mood of the Sankirtan movement. That's why we joined the Sankirtan movement. We want some magic that happens when we use our free will to surrender to Krishna. And this is our opportunity to say, we can get to 100,000 sets of Bhagavatams worldwide together. And we take the list of excuses and we just commit it to the fire, let it burn up into smoke. Everything else is, I'm a servant of Lord Chaitanya, and it's up to him how to use me. Shamahini, I'm assuming you're going to let me know when Maharaj comes on.
Yes, Prabhu.
And thirdly, we're finding what's most effective. All of you as leaders, if you weren't leaders, you wouldn't be here. And if you don't consider yourself a leader, do so now. Feel that you've been deputized to take up a leadership position in the Sankirtan movement. One of the very practical ways we've found that you can help to increase the capacity of whatever group you're working with or whatever individual or individuals you're working with is personal contact. Sending emails, sending a letter, that's okay. But actually having a personal one-to-one conversation or one-to-a-group conversation where you can see one another and discuss and feel what the person's attitude is and giving them encouragement, that's what sparks the fire. And we've noticed that when we're able to expand our campaign, it's because of a fire, which I mentioned in the beginning, it's enthusiasm. That has to be burning. When that's burning, enthusiasm means, entheos means there's some inspiration from God within your heart. That's where the word comes from. Then anything's possible. And to get that going, to start a fire, you need a little kindling. Before matches and lighters, you had to rub two sticks in some tinder. So every devotee has a little tinder in their heart. That's their faith. But you have to get some sticks and rub it. And then when you see the fire start, then anything can happen. So we want that fire to burn all over the world so that the world can be saved. People are spending billions of dollars on campaigning for candidates who will come out and say, here's the solution to your problems, but they don't have any tangible solutions. And we do. And if we're convinced that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is a panacea, and it's worth spreading all over the world, then we can have a market effect on the consciousness of the people of the world. And that's what we're doing together. So 3 points. Assume it can be done. The books are sold by enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is a kind of fire. And what starts that fire is our personal contact. Make a list of people in your area and talk to them personally. Give them a personal phone call. Go to their house. Sit down and talk. That's how the fire spreads. While we're waiting for His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, which is the greatest of blessings to have him make an appearance here, let's take a few reflections. Anything you've heard so far that's stuck in your mind? I'll count down from 5. Somebody better raise their hand or I'll call on you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nandini Kishori.
There are so many great points. The enthusiasm is the key. Even a person without hands and legs can be really really want to grab the books by even his mouth. And Panchatattva said, do not consider who is fit or unfit. Just do be the instrument. Let them decide. Thank you.
Thank you, Nandini Kishori. You're the epitome of those qualities. I just notice how personal you are with everybody. You take the time to call people. And as far as enthusiasm goes, you're the embodiment. Thank you for all the service that you do. It's simply amazing to me. I wish we could clone you and make you available all over the world. Big news, Maharaj is in the room. And we're just waiting for him to let us know when he's ready. So we're counting down the seconds now. And so we'll take one more quick comment. I'll count down from 5. Nitya Gopal, Prabhu, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
I like your point, Maharaj. Personal contact with each member that creates the spark and we can able to do better. That's wonderful. That was my takeaway.
One person can change the world. Look at Prabhupada. So if you're able only to enliven one person in your Sangha, don't worry about wholesale. Just find one person and retail it. And just enthusiastically impart these ideas to one person. If they are able to affect more people in the same way, you've made a success. One person at a time. Thank you, Nitya Gopal Prabhu. Still counting down for His Holiness Jayapataka Swami to appear on the screen. And I'll take a couple more. I'm going to count down, and if you don't speak up, then I'm going to call on you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Janvi, go ahead. You're on mute. Tell us where you are and what you're thinking while you're here, what your realization is. Go for it.
It's for the first time I've attended such a meeting for Bhadra Purnima, and I'm getting a lot of inspiration to distribute books. So I really try my best. I like the points which is said when Prabhupada said that the master within the heart will inform you how to do it if you want to do it. That was my takeaway. So I keep that in mind and try to distribute as much as I can.
Fantastic, Jambi. What made you attend today for the first time?
I was just checking out on the Jayapataka Maharaj app. I was checking out the updates, and suddenly it popped up that Maharaj is going to come in the meeting. So I said, I just want to receive some blessings. So I joined.
Thank you very much. It was very meaningful that
It's
you're here
really,
today.
it's really inspiring. Thank you.
May you be empowered to help fulfill the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu under your exalted Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. Okay, we have time for one more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sankirtan Dham, Italy. Go, Sankirtan Prabhu. Give us a few words from Italy, even if it's in Italian. You're on mute.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, go Italy.
Accept my humble obeisances, all glories to you and all devotees. We are very fortunate soul. We are blessed with we have received this great fortune to participate to Sankirtan party of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we have tried our best to be the instruments of Srila Prabhupada, and we also pray to have your blessed to continue to engage our service in this special mission to distribute and propagate this Srila Prabhupada books.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Sankirtan Dham. The name says everything. He's the Sankirtan Dham. Thank you very much for actually Sankirtan Dham, Italy. Is that the name of your ashram?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Oh, very nice.
Sankirtan Dham.
Sankirtan Dham Ki Jai. Just a point about enthusiasm. You know, when Lord Nityananda went door to door to teach people to sing Gauranga, he would roll on the ground. Have you tried that yet? Anybody? You go door to door and you roll on the ground if you have to. Get down on your knees. That's the enthusiasm of Lord Nityananda. We did it in door to door once in Toronto. Some people came to the door and we got on our knees to beg them, please take a look at this. And they couldn't close the door on us. You do what you have to do in order to communicate. Tradas Prabhu, please go ahead.
One of the first book distributors, Buddhimanta Prabhu, who actually started big book distribution. That's how he started distributing. He would actually do. He was as tall as you, and he would go door to door with Krishna book, the big Krishna book, and he would actually do that. He would get on his knees so they would be on the same level with him. Otherwise, he was so tall. And he would just beg, and he would literally beg them, please take Krishna book. And he was the first one to really break through and distribute so many Krishna books with that same technique.
So Tradas Prabhu, can we take that as homework? Everyone could try it one time at least, right?
It's one time in your life.
Try it sometime this marathon. Try getting on your knees and begging people to please have a look at Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, we're still waiting for His Holiness Jayapataka Swami with bated breath, and we have Latangi Radha Devi Dasi.
Sorry, Prabhu, Maharaj is connecting.
Yes.
Maharaj is there. I'd like to welcome His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, who is, since the beginning of these campaigns, has always agreed to every appearance. We're so grateful for you coming here today, Maharaj. Thank you very, very much. And everybody's tuned in, and we're eager to hear from Your Holiness.
Hare Krishna. Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Swami Nitina
Saraswati Devi
Gauravani Pracharine
Vaisesika Sumala
Asyatya Dishata
Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sridhara
Gaura Bhakta
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Pantu Langaite Sri Guru Vidutara Sri Chaitanya Ishvara
So, Bhadra Purnima, okay. Naturally.
So this Bhadra Purnima campaign came about naturally
Because in the Bhadra town states whoever gives away the Bhadra town on his,
because in the Srimad Bhagavatam it says that whoever gives away the Srimad Bhagavatam on this Purnima
and when the Bhadra town and living Ajahn having a puja.
but putting the Bhagavatam on a golden throne and offering a puja,
For Vaisesika Prabhu, he is like finally encouraged everyone to sell sets of Bhagavatam.
so Vaisesika Prabhu, he very kindly encouraged everyone to sell sets of Srimad Bhagavatam,
It's they would give away on Bhadra Purnima.
which they could give away on Bhadra Purnima.
Who they give to,
This is
it's
just
not
glories of
mentioned.
Bhagavatam.
Whom will you give to is not mentioned.
This is from Maharaj.
Give to your wife, give to your husband, down hot sangha, give to your neighbor, whatever you want.
You can give it to your Namata Sangha, you can give it to your neighbor, you can give it to your friend, you can give it to whomever you want. Husband, you can give it to your husband, you can give it to your wife.
So, plan is to distribute as many sets of Bhagavatam as possible.
The point is to distribute as many sets of Bhagavatam as possible.
The Bhagavatam is very sacred.
The Bhagavatam is very sacred.
It's as state, anyone who has a Bhagavatam set, all the devas they use that.
It is said that anyone who has the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is so sacred that all the devas come and pay their respects.
Bhagavatam is considered the star, cream of the Vedas.
Bhagavatam is considered the Sara or the cream of all the Vedas.
Bhagavatam is filled with the lives of devotions.
Srimad Bhagavatam is filled with the glories of devotional service.
or someone who has a lot of time has Krishna.
So someone who has Srimad Bhagavatam has Krishna.
So he should encourage people to get the Bhagavatam set. They give it away on Bhadra Purnima. Go back to God.
So we should get everyone, we should encourage everyone to get a Bhagavatam set, and if they give it away, then on Bhadra Purnima, then they get to go back to Godhead.
That's a big ticket.
So that's a free ticket.
So people buy sets of encyclopedias,
People buy sets of encyclopedias,
but the set of Bhagavatam is much more valuable.
but the set of Bhagavatam is much more valuable.
So, through this Bhadra Purnima campaign, we are giving many more Bhagavatam sets.
So through this Bhadra Purnima campaign, we are getting many more books of many more sets of Srimad Bhagavatam distributed. Those words describing the glories of the all-famous personality of Godhead are attractive, relishable, and ever fresh. Indeed, such words are a perpetual festival for the mind, and they dry up the ocean of misery.
We are Western parents of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami.
We are missing the presence of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami.
He was promoting Buddhist distribution very enthusiastically.
He was promoting book distribution very enthusiastically.
He was an international trustee.
He was an international trustee of the BBT.
He was chairman of the Indian BBT.
He was the chairman of the Indian BBT.
He was encouraging devotees to distribute Prabhupada books.
He was encouraging devotees to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books.
It's a great loss not to have him.
So it is a great loss to not have him.
We are hopeful that his disciples and always take on the heritage and the books.
We are hopeful that his disciples and well-wishers will take up his heritage and distribute books.
Oh,
And Vaisesika Prabhu, who has started these campaigns.
So we thank Vaisesika Prabhu who has started these campaigns.
And Bhadra campaign. Very special.
And Bhadra campaign is very special.
He usually has maps of different
He usually has maps of the different countries and different continents
and the pledges.
and their pledges.
Yes, Maharaj, my humble obeisance is at your lotus feet. We do have maps that we'd like to show you, if you can stay a few more minutes.
So we have got 100 or more people here physically hearing this. There are about 140 on Zoom.
For 2024.
So what is the goal for 2024?
Maharaj, it's 68,000 sets.
68,000. 68.
68,000 steps.
Yes, Maharaj, because we're trying to reach 100,008 by your recommendation. We had 100,000, but you told us we should put an 8 on the end, so we did. And then we knew when you put the 8 on the end that we'd be successful. So our goal by 2026 is 100,008 sets worldwide.
2026, we're hoping for 108 worldwide.
Yeah. So by 2026, you are expecting 100,008 sets.
Yes, Maharaj, by your blessings.
And all the devotees have those.
So that means all the devotees here, assembled here, have to also distribute sets.
Wow.
There are about 100 devotees here hearing this talk.
Maharaj, I just want to tell you something since you mentioned His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. As the last time that Maharaj was in America, and some of his disciples at a gathering had come to him and very enthusiastically said, we have come together and we've made a goal to distribute at least 400 sets of Srimad Bhagavatams. And Maharaj replied, why not 5,000?
400. And Maharaj said, why not 5,000?
And so then his disciples took that in their hearts, that that's the order of their spiritual master. So now they're organizing around this principle in North America, that the disciples of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj are keeping score amongst themselves. It's part of the greater score, but amongst themselves, they're endeavoring to distribute at least 5,000. And Shamahini, I'd like to show the maps to Maharaj now, if we could, please.
Yes, Prabhu. Anukul Seva, Prabhu.
So this year, we're remembering intensely His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and the ways in which he dedicated himself to book distribution. This iconic photograph we turned into a logo, which we're propagating everywhere. And this is the phrase that Srila Prabhupada uttered to Gopal Krishna Maharaj, that he took into his heart. In fact, Maharaj used to tell me this regularly, and he'd recount the story that I already mentioned earlier about how he tried to sell books in a bookstore and it wasn't successful. And then Prabhupada said, my books are sold because of the enthusiasm of my disciples. So we're taking this logo, remembrance of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami, and the phrase that Prabhupada empowered him with to lead this marathon. And as you already mentioned, and this is the verse, literally, if on the full moon day of the month of Bhadra, one places Srimad Bhagavatam on a golden throne and gives it as a gift, he will attain the supreme transcendental destination. And by the way, in that last slide, that penguin is there not randomly, but it is because we are able to put books at Antarctica. It's a long story, and we made a video about it, but now there are books in the scientific research centers in Antarctica. So that's why the penguin is there.
How the penguin read the books?
So does the penguin read the books?
By your mercy, Maharaj, just like Jarikanda, I'm hoping. Okay, let's show some more slides. This is our trajectory so far. Last year, everywhere but India was up. India was down a little bit, and that had an effect on the overall scores. We had a goal of 33,000, or at least that's what we ended up with. Our goal was 55,000. And because India was a little down last year, go ahead, move the slides. We had gone for 33,000, ended with 33,000. Our goal for 2026 is 100,008. And our goal for this year is a mere 68,000. Possible with a lot of devotees doing a little bit. Starting with Oceania. They have a pledge this year of 659 sets. Around Europe,
What is?
their pledge,
I didn't hear.
2026. South America, 31 sets.
South America 31 cents.
South America, 31 sets.
I think they have more potential. The Far East, so far, the only pledge we've got from Far East so far is 30. And this is not, the pledges are not complete. We're working around the clock, literally, in all time zones to contact leaders, urging them to make a pledge. Pledge means you pledge to do something more than 0 and not less than 1. But don't miss the opportunity to be in on Bhadra. So we're making a call to all leaders to reach out to those that they have any influence with and ask them. We're awaiting pledges from Madhya Purva Deshas. They haven't pledged yet. From Malaysia, we haven't got a pledge. And there are others on our list too. So it's a real nail biter. We're sitting on the edge of our chairs. We're reaching out to everybody and asking everyone. We did get a pledge from Penang of 19 sets. Way to go, Penang. Okay, here we are from North America. We have 7,517 as a pledge. And you can see multiple centers involved. India so far has only pledged 12,761. We're really pushing in India. I've been working with Bhima Prabhu and members of the ICC. We're reaching out to the various GBCs and leaders there to encourage all of the centers, and there are thousands that haven't pledged yet, to at least pledge something more than 0 and not less than 1. A philosopher once said the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. So we're asking everyone not to be indifferent to the Bhadra Purnima, but to at least pledge 1 set. So far, our pledges, and we're only how many days out, Shamahini?
39 days, Prabhu.
39 days to go, and the pledges are only at 23,322, which means the world's still asleep. The leaders are still snoring when it comes to Bhadra. So we're trying to wake everyone up. That's why we're calling on Your Holiness to, with the lion's roar that comes from your heart, to please wake everyone up. And you've done that today by encouraging us and coming here personally to advocate that everyone take up the cause of distributing Srimad Bhagavatam.
take advantage of Krishna's honor, spiritual
You should take advantage of Krishna's offer and distribute Bhagavatam.
He's saying go back to Ireland, that's it wasn't.
He is saying that you can go back to Godhead in that verse. It's a free blessing.
And if you want to serve Krishna, then you can. I'm going to serve Bhagavatam.
So if you want to serve Krishna, then you can distribute Bhagavatams in any way.
So I'm going to make a pledge of 68,000.
So how are you going to make the pledge of 68,000?
We only have about a third of that pledge.
We only have about a third of that pledge.
We don't have even here, Australasia, Africa.
We don't have regions here like Australasia, Africa.
Europe. We could do better, Latin America, everywhere.
We could do better in Latin America and everywhere else.
Europe was well, they do a lot.
Europe was very little, they can do a lot.
Maharaj, the lion's share right now is in India. They've had a lot, they've had much larger pledges in the past, so we're still waiting on several of the leaders there to pledge.
Waiting for several of the leaders in India to pledge.
How much they pledged last time?
So how much did they pledge last time?
Shamahini, tell us what the previous pledges were, if you would, please.
Yes, Prabhu. Last year they had pledged around 35,000. I can pull up the exact numbers. And this year the pledge is 12,700 right now. And their goal for the pledges, or the goal for Bhadra for India, should be 50,000 when we scale up the contributions.
We've looked at that entire continent, and there's no difficulty if everyone just pledges. There are a lot of regions that haven't pledged yet. We're expecting more, but it could be way more than that because there's so many centers there. If they just pledge 5 or 10 sets even, it would easily hit the goal for India.
And maybe useful to calculate what their pledge should be, 68,000.
So it may be easier if you calculate what the pledge should be to reach 68,000.
Shamahini, pledge for India should be what?
49,500.
49,500. They just have to double a couple of times what they have right now. 1.5 more, that's all. It's not hard. It's very... So we intend to go around to all the leaders. Bhima Prabhu and I are working to contact leaders, and we're invoking the help, or we're requesting the help of Banu Maharaj Prabhu to put out a letter, and other leaders to advocate for all of the areas to make some pledge.
So see, if we can advocate.
So we'll see if we can advocate a little bit
Get some more money.
and get some more pledges.
Thank you, Maharaj. It makes all the difference. We'd like to finish by showing you a video that we created recently, if that's okay.
Yes, that's all right.
Yes.
Okay,
that's
please show the video. Anukul Seva.
Okay, I hope that all of you will go out on the Sankirtan marathon. If you cannot be a big general in the army, at least be a small, ordinary soldier in the army. The 4th generals are busy distributing and dropping hundreds of bombs. At least you devotees can drop small bombs. So do something at least. So our guideline is every devotee should go out, whether you're a pujari, cook, anything, and distribute at least. If not, at least distribute for a half an hour or 1 hour every day. Drops of water make the ocean. So all of you even do little book distribution, slowly there'll be a flood of love of God.
Drops of water make the ocean.
Drops of water make the ocean.
Assume it can be done.
Assume that it can be done.
Haribol. Thank you very much, Maharaj. We're deeply grateful for you enlivening us, enlivening the world. We'll try to follow in your footsteps and continue step by step to fulfill Prabhupada's order to cover the earth with transcendental literature. And we'll bring you a report in a week or two to let you know how things are going. And Shamahini, go ahead.
Prabhu, we missed to show the Africa map. Can we please just show it tomorrow?
Yeah, show Africa.
Thank you.
Sorry, Africa. Sorry we missed your map. So far, we have pledges from Africa at 298 sets.
What did they pledge last year?
Tirumala, would you like to comment on that?
Yes, so last year the pledge was around 340, and the total was around 620, I think.
620.
Yeah, actuals.
So you like to smash your goals in Africa, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So one thing's the pledge, and another thing is what the devotees attain.
Other countries speak French.
Some of the countries in Africa speak French or Portuguese.
Others speak English, like Nigeria.
Others speak English, like Nigeria.
Yes, Maharaj. We have French sets. Janananda Swami arranged for that, and those are available, and we're trying to make sure that every place has the inventory that they need.
Mahavishnu Maharaj, he has been preaching in Africa. You should encourage him to take some sets of Bhagavatam.
Okay, Maharaj, we'll do so right away. Tirumala Devi, maybe you can help put us in touch with him, with His Holiness, and we'll relay the message. It looks like Maharaj just dropped off. No, Maharaj just there.
Yeah, we're back.
All right. Well, Maharaj, we're deeply grateful for you coming on today. We'll follow up with Mahavishnu Maharaj. We'll also follow your request to ask the leaders in India and elsewhere, South America, wherever, that they could make a pledge and increase their pledges. And we'll get back to you within a week and let you know how things are going.
On that, we will take was stats about
I would request that some devotees take pledges for distributing sets of Bhagavatam. I will also promote it.
That makes all the difference, Maharaj. Thank you very much. Asham Bhakti has put up in the chat. Everyone can notice this is a place to submit your pledges.
You're staying here at night? No
Our
go?
Ranchor Prabhu, who you see on the screen there, he's one of Gopal Krishna Maharaj's beloved disciples, part of a youth movement within the book distribution. He's taken up a lot of service, and one of them is he has designed this form so that anybody can easily make a pledge. You'll see it on the screen. Please copy it. Also, Sham Bhakti has put up a link. You'll see it, info@bbtbooks.org. If you need any resources, any marketing materials or information about how to present the Srimad Bhagavatam, you can contact us there. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ready to serve you. Our operators are standing by to take your calls right now, and we'll provide you with anything you need to help. And Ranchar Prabhu has also put up the pledge calculator. On the screen there, you see the last link. Ranchar, say something about it, please.
Hare Krishna, Shri Jayapataka Maharaj, Hare Krishna, Vaisesika Prabhu, and all the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. As Maharaj mentioned in his class, he wanted all the devotees to say how many sets they've done in the past and then build a pledge off of this. So our current trend is 23% year-over-year growth. So this pledge calculator sets a goal based off of 23% year-over-year growth from your 2022 score. So if everyone pledges according to this calculator, then we will be able to do 100,008 sets in 2026. So this is a good roadmap to see what you can do now and in the future. So please, everyone, you can take advantage of the pledge calculator to see exactly what you need. We took the thinking away from it, and we can all get inspired by these two illustrious personalities to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam.
That's the rancher I was just talking about. He is a highly educated, youthful devotee, a disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami, and he's taken up very diligently services in the BBT to help organize universal book distribution. Recently, he invited in interns from the youth community to help over the summer, and he had multiple, like dozens, 30 or so interns working on BBT projects under his direction. So we thank you very much, Ranchar Prabhu, for carrying the legacy of your Guru Maharaj and helping to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. I could say something about everybody on the Zoom call today, but let me just say generally, we're very blessed to have the association of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. We're empowered by your words, Maharaj, and by your presence. You always come and give us by your example what it means to be enthusiastic. And we're praying that we may rise to the occasion, start a fire of enthusiasm all over the world to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam, to stave off the bad effects of Kali Yuga and usher in a new age under the golden avatar of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thank you for considering our request that you, our dear Lord, please empower us to serve you. Everybody who agrees with this prayer in whole or in part, with obeisance. Say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Panchakalpadavascha.
Hare Krishna.
Avani
Glory to the devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yay.
Hare Krishna.
Go for it. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Vaisesika Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much, Prabhuji.